Okay, hey guys, Succubus here, what's up? Um, Today they were having an interesting or conversation in guild chat about 10 minutes ago, right? And, they were saying, oh, hey, what about speed boosters? I just got Galleon, I bumped Lure down on my 6-star list. Now, to me, that's not a good option to do. And I say this only because, well, if you think about it, speed boosters are what make this game go. Everybody has one. I don't see hardly any team comps where the speed bar does not come into effect. There's like 3 team comps out there maybe where the attack bar has no effect on how the monsters are going to do. Um, they're just so rare. And so every time for every new person, I recommend immediately get Megan or Bernard. Or if you're lucky enough and pull Frigate, or if you have Purian or Puritan or whatever it is. I use Puritan because it's 50% plus a crit rate buff. Now he has low base speed, but I have him at like 230, I think now. So he's alright for me. I really want him at 280, and then I'll be okay with him. Um, but I say that in my mind, Megan Lure is better than Bernard Galleon. Now you may disagree with me, but let me explain. Galleon only gives you a 30% plus an speed buff. You get speed buff plus 30% attack bar. Whereas with say somebody like Purian, you get 50%, which if that's that's a lot actually. That allows you a lot more um, open play for your comps. Like 30% of 300 is 270. Or my bad, it's 210. Ugh, I messed that up. My bad. My math is off. I'm trying to do it in my head really quickly for you guys because I just randomly decided to make this video. I didn't really check anything. But 30% of 300 is 210. And I'm going off 300 because that's what some of the top speed monsters are. 50% of 300 is 150. So that gives you a huge gap. That's a 60-point gap in which you could just continue to, instead of saying, hey, you have a speed rune on slot 2, you have a crit damage rune on, or attack, and then crit damage instead of speed attack. You know? That gives you a lot of flexibility. Um, but Megan will bring the defense buff instead of Bernard's speed buff, and she'll give you 20%. So if you can make Lure move within that 20%, Lure decreases attack bar and defense breaks. Now, the reason I say this is better is because if you don't need one of them, you can pull it and put in a different monster. Like, say you don't need attack buff. Well, even with Megan, say you're going to go HP based and you're just using Lure. You can do that with Tanky Lure. And put him in with, like, well, the Windlich or um, I'm trying to think. What is it? Glenodon or Grago or something. Because Grago brings his own defense buff and he'll hit really hard. I finally put my Grago on Vampire. He's got mid-game Vampire runes on him. He needs to get his end-game runes. And I'll post my runes for Necropolis here in a second. I'm running B7 currently because I can't auto-run B8. I'm still working on it. I think the key for me is I need to get Tyron out and like Rauk in. But then that would leave me leaderless. Yes, I have run this with Lisa. It's actually slower, if she's swapped up for anybody. But Colleen is definitely OP. I recommend you get a Colleen just for the attack buff. Took me a year to figure out that I needed a Colleen. Okay, what was I? Alright, yeah, but so with the Gally and Bernard combo, you end after they both move. Like, top notch, you end with an attack buff, a defense break, 30% attack bar, and a speed buff. With Megan Lure, you have the attack buff, a defense buff, a defense break, a guaranteed 20% attack bar, with the potential of more because Lure can be resisted. Um, and that's already, and that's more. That's more than what you get out of Bernard Galleon. And I'd honestly probably take that because you could put Lure on like Despair or something and also turn him into a stunner. In theory, in chat, what are they talking about? I have a couple theories of mine. Whatever. No, in theory, you could put 5 Verds in it, solo anything, but you know, because it's just a 100% attack bar boost all the time. Because they all stack each other. But I think there's a little bit gained in between attacks, so like, they could mess up speed comps. Well, if this rolls crit rate, let's see if it rolls crit rate. Because if it rolls 15% crit rate, I've got the perfect spot for it. And yes, as you can see, I decided to take it upon myself in spite of not getting Theomars or Windifrit. Shit. So. And I put him on Fatal. I took Vampire off of him. He hits harder on Fatal. His stats are much higher. He's not on crit rate. He's on attack, attack, attack. I would not fully experience. Need to fully max that rune. And then he speed attack, attack. He's gonna end really high right up next to Galleon because I just had the Rage Revenge set for it. So he's got pretty, I'd say, decent runes. Like, I hate that that's 4-star. But that's got 15 speed stub. That's got crit rate 12%. And that's a crit rate 14%, 6-star speed. Like, he's got decent runes. Like, there's room for improvement here. There's room for improvement here. There's room for improvement here, definitely. There's barely any room for improvement here. That's probably going to be a forever rune. That's going to be a really long time used rune. Let's go ahead and max this. But now, there are the best speed booster in the game, in my opinion, or attack bar booster, is Tiana. And I think a lot of people are going to agree with me. And here, this is when this runs to 13. I'll show you who Tiana is. But Tiana's third skill will strip all buffs and all debuffs from, or all buffs and all debuffs from everyone. That's everybody. Here. Now, I don't own Tiana. I really wish I owned Tiana. I got lucky. Got him instead. Woohoo! I built him as an attacker. He is barely hard enough not to kill Theomars unless I'm using Galleon. And then he kills Theomars. Tiana, Winds of Change. Removes all harmful and beneficial effects on all allies and enemies and increases the attack bar by 30% of allies only. So basic, and that's the key thing right there. This effect cannot be resisted. That's what makes her so good. Literally for the best comp in the game, in my opinion, Tiana. It would be Tiana, of course, because if I have Tiana at 300 speed, uh, you're not outspeeding me, and yeah, no, just no. And it's Tiana, so I get a 30% attack bar boost. So I have everybody at 210. Well, that's perfect because I'm fairly. I think this guy scales off of 210, so I'd take him with me. I would take him scaled up with me into. Which one is it? Freeze them with a 15% chance. Uh, it's kind of controversial. It depends on what you need. I think I'd probably take this one instead of this one, just because of the beneficial effect removals. He'll still do high damage, and he won't ever actually get around to using his third skill. Because if I take and do this, attacks all enemies 3 times with a decrease their attack bar by 30%, with a 50% chance. And if I put him at 220 speed with Tiana at 300, they'll both move. And as long as he decreases attack bar and the enemy doesn't have Nemesis, um, like as long as one of those two things Q, then we're good. And then you could use Frostwind, attack all enemies to freeze them. You could also use this if you were building with Tessarion, but I'm not. That would not be my ideal team comp. My ideal team comp is mostly water. And then I have Pasame, who can cooldowns. I use 200 something in my head. Plus, he's got that arena speed leader. And he revives on the moment of death to do overwhelm. So if you put him on Nemesis, like I'd put mine on full fucking Nemesis. Like Nemesis, Nemesis, Nemesis. And I'd put him at probably. I want to say I'd make him just faster, just slightly faster, like 1 or 2 speed faster than uh, the needed speed, just so like something stupid doesn't happen. Just like a couple speed, like 7, 8, 9 into the attack bar over buff, so that way I don't have to worry about stupid things like Bernard's cutting in and stuff like that. Chloe cutting in, and then he moves with that decrease attack gauge AoE. Not that it should matter, but if it did, it's there. Now they have a lowered attack gauge. Now you can just go to town on them with Theomars and their cooldown too. I kind of got mixed up talking there. I meant I would have him at like 220 ish, really, and then I'd have him at like 215, and then I'd have probably Alicia actually at 210. Some kind of AoE DPS just to clean up. Maybe even Rauk because of his last skill. In all honesty, for an AoE cleanup, you couldn't really go wrong with all of these monsters. Would be good to have, by the way. Looking for one in particular. There he is. Knew he was older. Yeah, this one, because bam, I can build him as a tank, and then if he has 40k HP, then bam, 20k AoE finishes everybody. Anyway, that's just how I built him. I'll show you. In spite of not getting Theomars, I have decided that I'm going to build him with an attack setup. That's why I did that, and he's got decent runes so he can hold it down. As soon as I get this one maxed, he'll be at a K attack. He'll have a little bit of crit damage. Not a whole lot to make a difference if he doesn't crit or not. Yep, I'll show you guys some. But no, back to speed boosters. I really, really I really think speed boosters are the most important thing, you guys. Speed boosters are the most important part of a comp. They make your comp run together. If you don't have one, you will get cut. You won't get past like fighter rank. It's it just happens that way. Yeah, he's doing pretty decent. When I use him in arena, he actually hits harder than he is now. Um, when he gets to level 40, he'll be able to one-shot those guys, and then I won't have to worry about it. If he could do it now, he wouldn't be running with Galleon, and they'll probably fail this run. I don't think he can tank out. Speed boosters are absolutely the most important things. Um, they make your team run in tune together. I use a 50% speed booster, and he's, like I said, at 220, 230, I think, somewhere in there. And I do believe that most people don't suspect I'm using him for a speed boosting. They just think, oh, he kind of sucks because I haven't upgraded mine from a 4-star. Because really, they don't need to be upgraded. So, like, I have a 4-star Pyrion that's at. Okay, so almost at 220. That's cool. Yeah, he's almost at 220. He's at one. Yeah. Oh, well, what is that? 15. He's at 215. After I max his runes, he'll be at 220 something. I just haven't got around to pushing that because right now he's just out of speed 2 range of my Cassie, and I don't like it, and I've had things move in between me before. So I'm starting to use slow Galleon or shield runes. Like I have fast Galleon, and then I have slow Galleon, who's just a little bit more tanky than fast Galleon. Like less defense, less attack. Oh, more attack, more HP, I guess. How did he get more attack? I don't even know how he got more attack. um, yeah, and fast galleons aren't always a good thing. Basically, I have this galleon at 211 speed because he stopped scaling at 210 on that first ability. So when he actually decides, hey, I'm gonna hit like a truck now, I'll be ready. And today's fire day, so I have to go and try to awaken him. Okay. What do we need? Mids first? Oh, well, that's not good. I don't even have a team set up. Defense breaker. Where's my attack buffer? Slash healer. Runes on Colleen, by the way. Revenge for Necro. And energy defense energy, just because she's tanky. And frankly, that's a pretty kick-ass rune. So sad. Like 20% HP. Awesome. She's a tank. I was originally building her because I was going to 6-star her and put her frontline for raids. Because if you can frontline Colleen, you can solo heal. Probably not something I should be worrying about, only being able to beat R3, but no, speed boosts are critically important. The second most important thing about Arena, I would have to say, an AoE damage, and we'll talk about that in the next video. Oh, did she already die? Okay. But some of the best speed boosters in the game, damn, well then, before I die from doing this, um, the best speed booster in the game, in my opinion, is probably going to have to be Tiana. Second best would be Purion. then Frigate, then Bernard, then, oh, I can't forget her name, the Light Harpy. And then, I do enjoy, with my defense comps, using the Wind Horse. I use the Wind Horse and, say, Orion. And then I can pretty much pull off any composition I want, like, say, with Grago or whatnot. And I don't even have to worry. Like, they're gonna die. There's a bomb. Like, forgot to bring cleanse. Oops. I wasn't paying attention. My bad. Now I'm paying attention. You just got beat to death. Alright, let's show off our rep monster. My friend Bo, he's the best person, personally, that I know ranking-wise. Um, attack, crit damage, attack, plus 50 speed. Show him off here in a... why not? But yeah, no, we're gonna have to go on to the next video and we'll talk about an AoE DPS and who you could bring. There's even farmable AoE DPS, and I really think you guys should take advantage of that going up into the game, clearly, as I haven't, and I regret it 100%. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Well, we'll showcase him. We'll showcase him first, because obviously you can see that he's doing well, and then Tyrant's already dead. I guess I probably should trade out Tyrant. I'll just full on tank the comp. Like Grago, Glenadon, everything, and then I won't even worry about it. I'll just let it take 8 minutes. But as you can see, this thing is pretty OP. Like, I can't wait till I can run it and get A rank every time. I'm at B+, so when I can run it and get A rank every time, I'll be able to get those magics that I need, and then I'll have an Ifrit. Until then, I'm hoping the 6-star I got brings me there. I need an AoE DPSer, one more, for raids and arena. Other than that, I'm good. But yeah, that's the best AoE DPS in the game in my opinion. Alright guys. See you in the next one.